Hey YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my track guide series. I'd like to say a big thank you to Dusty, who asked the question in my comments, would I consider some track guides in the Ferrari? And the answer is yes, I certainly would. I did a race in this series just last week and I had an absolute blast. If you haven't tried it out yet, the Ferrari GT3 Challenge series, it's a fixed series, you need to give it a go. If you're not convinced by that, click the annotation to go to my race video, give that a little watch, and if you're not gagging for it after that, then I don't know, you've got nothing down for you, you don't like racing. Anyway, this week it's Summit Point. Bit of a strange track and car combination is what I first thought, but after running a few laps I'm starting to come around. I'm excited to get a few races in around here, especially because I'm well practiced after making this guide. Let's jump right in. So here we are coming down the start-finish straight. We're in 5th gear as we cross the line and we're already looking to spot our braking point for the first turn. Hard braking point in between these two cones, the 4 cone and the 3 cone. Brake exactly in the middle, exactly halfway between these. You want to brake hard but not too hard that you see the purple lights flash up. It's a very, very specific point. If you have a look on my brake trail in the bottom left, you'll see it's approximately 65–70%. I'd say any harder than that, you're going to start activating the ABS. This is going to cause you to understeer and not be able to turn in as early as you need to for this turn. Speaking of turning in, as you can see, I do start to bleed off the brakes and try to follow this resurfaced bit of tarmac. Don't know, is it tarmac? The road surface that's been replaced. You just follow that round. As that road surface brings you close to the curb on the inside, that's when you start to feed the throttle back in, go full power, and then we're up to 2nd gear, up to 3rd, looking forward to turn number 3. The braking point for turn number 3 is nice and easy. You've got this big grass verge to our right. That's what I use where that starts. We drop it down to 3rd gear. Now the braking for this turn, again, a little bit tricky. If you brake too hard, the back end may lock and it may cause you to spin. If you brake too soft, you're going to carry too much speed and understeer wide, end up in the kitty litter on exit. So what you want to do is brake around 40%, hold it for a second and then ease off as you turn in. And you want to hold on to that brake about 5%, the classic iRacing trail braking, until you're ready to put the power back on. And then it's full throttle using all of the track on exit. You can even use a little bit of that kitty litter. Now entering a very tricky section of the track. Firstly, we have this very fast right-hander, then immediately into a very slow left-hander. For the right-hander, I turn in, lift and drop it down to 4th gear. The reason I do this, it's going to bring some speed off without bringing it off too quickly, and it's going to then enable me to keep my car far to the right if I get this right. Now unfortunately on this lap I do clip the curb on the inside a little bit, which then bounces my car back to the centre of the track, so just be aware this is not ideal, but I do make the most of it. And then as soon as we're through the right-hander, we're looking to brake essentially. I like to use the marking, the dirt just on the extreme right of the track, as a visual reference. When I get close to this is when I brake. Again, this is a big braking point, but we can't brake as hard as we normally would, as that will cause the ABS to kick in. Again, we'll understeer wide, missing the turn. So we need to get the balance right. As you can see, I don't really go above 50% too much here. We're just getting that pressure and then bleeding off as we get closer to the turn. Fortunately, on this turn, once again, we have this resurfaced bit of road. That's what you're aiming for. You can use the curb on the inside a little bit here. It's not going to affect you on entry too much. Obviously, if you are on the curb and you put the power on, that will unsettle the car, so please be careful of that. Otherwise, just feed the power back in normally, smoothly, nice and easy. Then we're immediately flicking the car back over to the left-hand side of the track, and I use these dirt markings as my braking point. It's not a major braking point this turn, so your braking doesn't need to be perfect. You're just looking to trail brake into the right-hander. Again, we have some resurfaced bit of road that we can use to guide us through the turn. As you can see here, I do brake a little bit early, a little bit too much. It takes me onto the curb on corner entry, but when I put the power down, I'm off the curb, so I can apply the power just as usual. I also want to make a point of my car position on corner exit. I am very much in the centre of the track. This is very, very important around here. If you take what you think is a normal line, using all of the track on exit here, and you're on the curb on the left-hand side of the track, you're going to be losing time. The closer you are to the right-hand side of the track, the more time you're saving because of the distance travelled, essentially. However, if you're too close to the right, it's going to compromise your exit speed and your speed through this entire section. So the best compromise is pretty much smack bang in the middle. Also through this section, you're going to be balancing the throttle of the car a lot. You'll find if you've got too much power on, your car's going to step out and oversteer. It's all about feeling and reacting through this section. You just want to aim for this curb on the inside, on the right hand side of the screen here. As we play through, you can see I'm lifting on occasions when my car's becoming unsettled over the curb. And then we're going into this left-hander where I'll be shifting up to third gear. Again, I'll be lifting as we approach the curb on our left, and this will again set us up on the left-hand side of the track for the final turn of this section, the right-hander, the second to last turn. It's very important to get a nice exit speed through here, so lining yourself up on the left-hand side of the track is very important. Once again, we're going to be short shifting up into fourth gear this time and using all of the track on exit. Now we're quickly heading into the final turn of the track in fifth gear. I like to use these markings on the edge of the track as a braking reference. I do brake before these. It's not exact. This is something that you get used to after doing a few laps. You see these markings on the edge of the track. That's your cue to brake. We're going to brake fairly gently and trail brake through this turn. Drop it from fifth all the way down to third gear, and then get back on the power as soon as we can. Use all of the track on exit, and you'll be shifting up to fourth very, very early. And then there you have it. Just a quick sprint down to the finish line and cross the line in a time of 107.902. I will just let the onboard lap play through in full so you can take it all in. If you do like the video, then please like the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments. As always, if you would subscribe, greatly appreciated. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. You guys are the best. Catch you guys next week.